Okay, I think we're live. So, welcome back. Uh, my last video, I was showing off my cool new room, and I thought of my good friend Tebow because I know that he's done quite a few
Yep.
videos about his room, and so I thought it
Yep.
might be fun for us to flesh that topic out a little bit. Hello, Mr. Tebow.
Absolutely. Hello, Steve. Yeah, that's a wonderful. I saw your video and I was like, "Oh, this is one of my favorite." I was like entranced by it. Like my wife's like, "What the heck are you watching here?" My wife watched the whole thing too,
Okay.
and I was like, "Hey, this is like fascinating stuff. It's enthralling for us." So
Did you ever look at your YouTube metrics at all?
yes, I do. Not
Is yours like
often.
is yours like mine 99.9% male?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, did someone mention about the age, how, like, scary that is? Like, it's like, the average age, like, 60 to 70. I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, the biggest group. There's quite a few, 50 to 60, and some a little
Yeah.
younger, some a little older, but the biggest group is 60, 65.
You know what I think
Reminds
that
me
is?
of
I Yeah.
a Rush concert.
Yeah, that definitely is it there too. I think it just, folks our age are like, I'm just enchanted with just TV, like, the modern television,
Mhm.
Like, like, I don't know any TV shows that are on right now, like CBS, NBC, ABC. That was always the big deal when we were kids.
No, don't have a clue.
I don't watch any of that stuff. I watch the sports. The sports I'll watch, but
Yeah, if it wasn't
I
for
think
you,
that's
we
probably the
probably wouldn't
demographic.
have anything to watch.
Yeah, and it's I flick around. I mean, I got rid of all those channels. Like, I don't even have cable. I just got like YouTube and Paramount Plus. My wife has Netflix, and that's pretty much it. So
So I talked about my room a little bit. So
yeah,
your room is in the green room, so to speak. You had said that your room's
yeah.
kind of set up a lot like this.
Yes, yeah, we got, this is an older house as well. I think you mentioned your house a little bit older, like, yeah, I think this was like a sewing room or something. They used to have sewing rooms back in the day, like,
Yeah.
like, that was a place where, like, the matriarch of the house, sew clothes or whatever, and it's a very small, like, I wouldn't even call it, like, a bedroom. Like, we tried to put my son in here, and it was just way too small. Like,
Okay.
"That's perfect for, my gaming," so
Nice.
it comes back to I think a lot of us is like the proverbial man cave. You hear about that's like part of the lexicon of the world, man cave. And I think for us, this is just our little man caves we have. And I think a lot of it comes down to these man caves to like, it's like our way of controlling our world. I think that's how I look at it as is like, because I'm in here and my wife, we talk about this too. Is like I control everything in this room. Like she's not allowed to put anything in here, and I'm not allowed to put anything outside. Like it's all her. She controls the rest of the house. Like, everything is where she wants it, how she wants it. But here, it's everything is. I think of us. We're all working people, and a lot of the things happen in life. Maybe I can't control some bad things at work, but when I come in here at night or in the morning, I can control. Like I'm the GM, I'm the manager, I'm the commissioner. It's like any game is at my fingertips, and I think that's part of our having our little space. So
No doubt about it. It's funny. At work today, uh,
yeah.
I work in the doctor's office, so I like the front desk, and
Hmm.
so I do a very female job. So I'm surrounded by females, and so I was
Hmm.
asking, I
Hmm.
was like, I've heard of a man cave, but is there
Right.
anything for women? And apparently, it's
Yeah.
a she shed is
She
what
shed.
she shed.
I have heard of that.
I
Yeah, I
hadn't.
have heard of that.
They said you need to get out more, Steve, but I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah.
So maybe your room was a she shed in its
She
former life,
shed. Yeah. I think
with the
so.
sewing
Yeah,
room
the
and
house was
everything.
built in 41. Yeah, but it's
So
it's mine
41.
now. It's yeah, yeah. That's when my house built. Um,
So how long have
yeah,
you been in there?
it's 19. We bought this house the August before 9/11. I remember it was like because we were only here. We barely had any furniture. My wife and I just had been married for a year, and we lived with my parents for a year right after we got married, which was interesting.
Yes.
right out of the gate, which works. I mean, you try to save money to buy a house and all that. And I remember we hardly have any furniture. We were watching 9/11 on TV. That was crazy, but it's been good. It's a nice neighborhood, nice area, Pittsburgh.
So were
So
you
we're
able
happy.
to move into the room right away when you moved into the house?
No. What happened here is this is actually interesting. Probably relates to a lot of these guys that are probably watching this. Is like when I first started getting back into it, I didn't have any room. I just used our dining room. Like my wife and I, I had like one or two sets also, and I would just play games like either on the floor with my son. He was a baby at the time, and or I would play at the dining room table, and I would have my stacks of notebooks. I would have I remember have my setup just right on the dining room table. Then we have an attic too, so I started getting a little more of a collection, and my son started getting a little more into video games. He was like 7, 8, 9 years old, and him and I took over the attic for. It was a big carpeted attic, real nice, and he had one side for video games and PS2 and all that stuff, and the other half was all cards and dice, and it was like our desk and stuff. And he wanted to take that whole room over for his bedroom, so then I found the sewing room, and here I am. So
So
it's
how long have you
great. I
been in
mean,
that room?
since he was probably about 10, probably 13 years now. There's a lot of it. I've shown it on my videos before, but there's a lot of thinking behind it. Where everything is because all of us guys, and we accumulate so much stuff, like so much like seasons and games, and space is an issue. I mean, you run into an issue. And one thing I wanted to have was I wanted everything to be within like arm's reach. Like I didn't want to like pack stuff away and like where you have to dig it out. Like I have one of those big bins, I'm talking about. Like I wanted to be able to get to a season like within like 2 minutes that I don't have. And I have pretty much every APA season and a bunch of replay and strat, all those other games and all that. And there's a design to it. So like I can always easily grab something if I want to do it. One thing about having so much stuff is like if I take something out, I have to put it away. Because if I don't put it away, it just gets piled up. So that's one thing about it, the setup. But it's great. You gotta have a good chair too. I mean, I'm sure I don't know the kind of chair you have, but when you're in these rooms, like you got these games, I think that's the one of the dangerous things about these games is like the sedentary nature of it. But you got to have a nice chair to be comfortable in while you're playing. And got a good screen TV and all that. You got to have a nice setup.
So with you being there so long, I assume that you've had time to make adjustments, again, with it being a smaller room, you add, take away. So I imagine you over time have got it pretty much to your liking, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty much there. I mean, it's kind of interesting with the purchasing too. I think I've covered this one of my videos is like I have like a wall of, bins. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of stuff. And I'm running out of, I do have a little more room there, but it would be blocking doors a little bit. So it kind of slowed down on my purchasing because I actually also, I think what happened too is I used to buy every APA season every year, and 24 was the first year I didn't because you just like I'm like you guys so the modern game, like I was buying those modern sets, but I wasn't hardly touching them. I was like that's it, and the price goes up too. So why invest if you're not going to do it? So what I do with APA is I buy the BBW download for the Baseball for Windows. And or the Go sometimes. So that's obviously it's digital. You don't have to have anything. So, and my wife and I were just talking about like, hey, what if we downsize? Like what if we really get like a downsize, move south or something? And like I'd be like I don't know how I would do it. I think I would have to sell it or put it in one of those big bins, the whole thing, and just and pack them away. That'd be the only way I could take everything. But who knows if that day comes.
So is your room, is it kind of hobby centric or is it Tebow centric? I mean, is this like your room or is this your game room?
That's interesting. It is my room. They call it my hole, like like I'm like an animal or something. Like go back up in your hole there. So she thinks I'm like a worm or something. So you up in your hole, like you go in your hole, and that's what my wife calls it. No, unaffectionately, I should say. Um, it's actually my home office too. So I work from home. I work hybrid where I work. So I'll work 2 weeks at home, and then I'll work 1 week in the office. Like this week, I'm downtown Pittsburgh, and next 2 weeks, I'll be working at home. And I do use it for work also. So, but I still have my work computer. But you know what? My work computers is secondary to my stuff. So like as soon as my work is done, I pack all my work stuff away. Like I don't want it near my games. so so it's right now it's full blown game central here. So
But it's also your getaway.
it's my getaway.
Or do you have
It's been
other
my getaway
places
for
in the house
years.
where you would
Yeah,
go, like if you wanted to watch a game, if you watch it there,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
you just need some quiet time, not necessarily want to play. Is that where you go?
yeah, yeah. I do. I think I've covered this in my videos. A lot of my videos are done early in the morning,
Hmm.
and that is my time. It's just that's the only time I really have like a lot of peace, quiet. I have a lot of guys, maybe I go late at night or something. Everybody's asleep. But we all need some peace in our life, just the distraction of the world just can go away for a few minutes, an hour maybe. And that's where I come here. Like in the morning, I have a routine. I'll get up. I have my cats. My cats have been in my videos too.
Right.
So I'll get up usually around 3:34. I'll make my coffee, get my shower, go down, get my coffee, and one cat's like my best buddy. He'll follow me every morning, and he has a one of those perches you attach to windows. So he'll come up, sits in the window. I fire up the games, or I usually look at Delphi, and I kind of get revved up, a little bit. Like you kind of read, like look at YouTube, revved up a little bit. Then I just start cranking out some games. So I used to play a lot more than I used to. With sometimes slowed down with age or something. I used to be able to get in like 6 to 10 games a morning, but on a weekend morning, I'm good for like 1 to 3 right now. So
Yeah, I'm 1 to 2 on the weekend. I might do a little bit
yeah,
more. But
all you do,
so
yeah,
far,
yeah. You have a little more of a setup there. I notice you keep score. You keep score, and you do your computer too. I saw.
yeah, it's a sickness.
Yeah.
This comes from, I guess for me, it's like reliving trying to be at a baseball game. And when I went to baseball
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
I always kept score.
Yep.
And so I guess it's more of
Yep.
it sticks in my head. It keeps it from being a roll fest, by keeping score. It
Hmm.
just more of
Hmm.
a stick. So I guess it just makes the experience more tangible for me. It does take longer to
I
do.
want to ask you a question. I've seen you do that. I've tried to do that too, where I've actually kept score and did entered an extra PC or something like that. Did you ever feel like you're doing redundant, like you're doing like it's taking you twice as long at all, like to
Yeah.
do it? You ever just want to like
Problem
just
is,
enter it just straight into the computer?
I love the stats, and I'm not going to do that by
Hmm.
hand. And I love keeping
Hmm.
score because it just adds to the
Ah,
experience. They're both so
right.
important. It's worth the extra time. So, I'm probably not going to get 10 full season replays done before I die, because it
Yeah.
just takes me longer, and I'm okay with
Hmm. That's all right. Yeah, because I was
it.
thinking about that this morning. I put down my video. Is like there's something about like rolling the dice, having that information go through your brain, and it coming out on your pencil onto your scorecard, and it's just that message you're sending to your pencil to score it. Somehow, it like you get connected. I think better than like you roll the dice, go through your brain, and then you're typing in, you're clicking or something on the board. It's a different connectivity, I think. Some guys might be different. You never know.
Everybody's different. What they're looking for is different. But for me,
Yeah,
it just feels more like a baseball game if I'm keeping
yeah,
score. Again, that probably goes to me keeping score when I would go to baseball
yeah.
games.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did the same thing. I still go when I go to Pirate games. I keep scoring, and
Mhm.
people look at me weird. It's like, whoa, what's that from? Man, that's from the 1980s. You're doing like, yeah, that's what
Dinosaur
I
there.
do. They still sell the scorecards. You know, they still sell, they even give you a pencil there. So
Right.
I think I'm the only one there that does it.
Yeah. Or dinosaur.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
um, so how do you think your environment, how it affects the quantity and the quality of your gameplay? Start with
The environment.
the
Yeah,
quality. You know, like where you're playing at. How much do you think that
yeah.
attributes to how the enjoyment of what we're doing?
Oh, it's tremendous. Like, 'cause like I said, you're blocked off. Like you have this time. It's almost like you can really like a lot of this is escapism. You know,
Yeah.
so you don't have a lot of distractions coming at you here and there. Yeah, you gotta have good lighting. That's another thing. Like I've noticed is like even on videos, like I see other guys like putting their videos up. If they have good lighting, it looks great. You know, if they don't have good lighting, it's like put some lights on. Like, but it's the environment's great. You gotta have like really good lighting. I mean, there's a lot of I have like these overhead really bright fluorescent things which are fantastic for the gaming. As you can see, it shoots right down on my table.
Right.
I have this lamp that goes. I prop my book up to it. You know, so it's a good environment. You have to have support of your family too. That's really big, I think.
It is.
Yeah, your wife, like, I mean, I mean, I don't think she's known me not playing these games, so it's kind of she understands that part of me, and I think that's really important too. You got to have that kind of. She knows like I need to have this space to be just like mentally there, you know. Like, and I've noticed one thing with playing these games, like if I have a big session here by myself, I'm gotten like 3 or 4 games out. I go downstairs. I'm like a better husband. I'm like a better parent. I'm like, if something happens, like you're charged up, you get energized, and you get
Definitely.
refreshed. You know. So I think
Uh,
these are very healthy places for all of us guys. So,
so I've been in the basement, which was somewhat
yeah.
secluded, and then I was in our bedroom, which
Mhm.
was good in that I had daylight. You know, I could see the sun. That was nice.
Yeah.
But having my own space, which I've never had,
Right.
it really make it. I don't know. It makes it easier to focus in, and I'm in the same boat. I have a very supportive
Yeah.
wife, and she
Yeah.
has always been supportive. And so, I could imagine if your hobby was bringing marital strife, that could
Yeah.
definitely put a wet blanket on it for sure.
Oh,
And
heck yeah.
so if you're allowed to have your space,
Right.
without repercussion, that obviously is going to add to the enjoyment of the hobby for sure.
Exactly, exactly right. I mean, my wife even because even this morning, like when we were leaving, she was driving me down to work. I was like, "Yeah, I need picked up at 3:45. I got to do this. I got to do that. I'm on YouTube Live with Steve at 6:30." And as soon as she picked me up, she's like, "Oh, she's like, I know you got that thing going on all night tonight." I'm like, "No, it's just like 6:30 to 7." So she thought I was doing it all night. So
So that's great. So what about the quantity? I mean, do you feel, because the
yeah,
reason I say that is I had a comment that said something like, with that awesome space, I'm sure you'll be putting out more projects. The thought
yeah,
being that with a good space, not only will the quality be better, but the quantity will be more. Do you have
yeah.
any thoughts on that?
It could be. Yeah, it really depends on your the way you're playing your games too, like how fast you like to get through them, and it could have an effect because like you have this space and maybe it's already set up. Maybe it's since it's your space and you have your room, you don't have to pack it all up to cook dinner or something. You know, it's there and it's your space. Like I'll leave my like this morning I left this replay basketball on my table all morning. You know, it was there all day, and my cats sometimes walk over it, but it's it was there. It was my space, so no one was sitting here all day. It was waiting for me to come back. So
And that would make a big difference. I mean, obviously, we play wherever we're able to, and if that's all you
yeah,
got, that's great. But having a
yeah,
place where it's kind of secluded, you're not being distracted. Again, you can
yeah,
leave it set up if you're in the middle of a game.
yeah,
When you come back, it's where you left it. You don't have to pack it up.
yep,
And so, I mean, I imagine that would attribute to just again, I think the Zen feeling, for lack for better, just kind of put you in the mood. You know, if you've got a room that you're comfortable in and feel like it's yours, it just kind of helps you to put you in the mood to play, I think.
Absolutely. I see you mentioned about your decorating too on your last video with the baseball pictures. You know, I got the same. I got a scorecard from an actual game. I got Gary Carter. I got Oakmont. I've got all these pennants over here like Dave Gardner has, you know, on his things. You can't see them in my videos, but I have all these baseball pennants, almost like 8 or 9 teams. You know, I think this goes back to Stevie. It's that proverbial like man cave. Like you hear about these, you know, the guys. I'm going to go out to the garage, or I'm going to go out in the shed, and I'm going to go, you know, work on my car in the garage. There's actually, you know, I've mentioned in my videos there. I have a neighbor. He's about a block away, and I go for my walks. I could see actually a couple guys in my neighborhood. I see like they have their garage space. Like the one guy down this way, he's a big Harley Davidson guy. He has a couple Harleys, and he sits in his garage. He keeps the garage open, and he's got his refrigerator for his beer. He's got the pictures of Harleys, just like us. He has all kinds of Harley stuff. And then the other guy, he's like a classic car guy. Like he's every time I walk by him, he's polishing the fender of something, or it's classic cars. That's what they do. You know, that's their thing. You know, it's no different than us at all. It's like no different at all.
Just different poison. You know, pick your poison.
Yeah, and then you got the hunter fisher guys. You know, you got the guys hunting, fishing.
Right.
They got their their fish. They got their camps all set up. Their trips coming up. You know, trout season's coming up here. So, like I said, we're no different. We're no different.
We're not.
It's the men and the boys are the price of their toys, right? You won't lie.
Yeah, relatively speaking, ours isn't too expensive, so there's a lot more expensive things that we could be doing.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to the space, again, you take whatever you can get, you know, and you know we've all taken what was available, and may not have been ideal. Yeah. Happy to have it, but when it comes, does size matter? You know.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well.
So my question is, one particular thing here is, and you kind of alluded to this already, is storage. You know, you want to have all of your stuff within reach. You know, I've got stuff that I use a lot here, but the rest of my stuff's in the basement. So how important is it, do you think, to have everything, all your stuff within reach? Or
that's
stuff somewhere else.
That's very important. You know, I've known there was some guys I know in the Appa community who, you know, I have a lot of stuff, but there's guys that blow me out of the water as far as collections. Like they have those storage facilities. And there was one guy, Roy Lang is retired. When he passed away, and guys in the Appa community actually helped his estate clear out his Appa stuff. And he had a whole walk-in facility of his for his entire Appa collection. He owned every single product that Appa ever sold. It was like the most insane collection. I mean, going back to 1950 some. And he donated out to the Appa community, but that type of collection, he would say like he would store his stuff down at the storage facility, so he would only keep a few sets at his house. Then he would have to drive to the facility to get another set. You know, and you have to go in, open a garage, go into the bins and all that stuff. And that's,
if it's raining,
I'm not going to say it's ill, because I would probably do the same thing. I'd be calling myself ill.
I guess if you had no choice.
Or if you don't want to spend the money too. I mean, I can't see spending whatever those places cost to store sets. I mean, if you have the money, that's awesome to do. I would probably do it too if I had the money. So
I would prefer everything in the room with me. I don't mind going down in the basement. It would. I think it would really bug me to have to jump in the car.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, so I think if I got to that point, I think I would probably think, and this is just me again, when I give an opinion, I'm not saying everybody has to think this way, and everybody has different goals, ideas, but for me, it'd be like, maybe it's time to sell some things off. because
Yeah.
I'm still right now trying to figure out a way to get all my stuff up here. So even
Yeah.
now, you know,
That's a hard decision. You see that kind of like it kind of is upsetting. I see those in Delphi, those guys that are selling things once in a while. They're like saying like I'm downsizing, or even
yeah,
worse, like if they say they're ill. I feel really bad for those guys.
yeah. No,
And
I
the
mean that.
downsizing ones I feel real bad about because
Yeah, if they
like
have to, yeah, that's.
yeah,
But I'm the same way when I see them, hey, I'm selling my Strat collection and there's nothing wrong. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't know, it hurts me. It's just like, it's
yeah,
like I don't know. I like hearing people, hey, I picked up another season. Maybe it's just because
yeah,
I tend to be a little bit of a collector, so
yeah.
but
I
yeah,
started
I
getting
mean,
into the collecting side again. I actually started. I'm getting back into almost like rebuying sets that I've sold off like 15 years
okay,
ago,
right,
and because I'm trying to get every version of every Appa set from 1976 through 24 when I stopped, and I'm close. I'm only missing like one or two versions of some seasons in there, but that's like the modern. That's like the reprints and everything. So like that 85 Strat that just came out, like the eight. Like if I was a Strat guy, I have the 85 original one, but
right.
yeah, I would want to get that 85 new one too. So,
Yeah, so for you, you like, and again, I'm trying to figure out how to do that myself. You like having
mhm,
everything you own there with you,
mhm,
so it's
you're
within
right,
fingers touch. Yeah,
right,
I get it.
right. And how I justify it too, one thing I do, I think I've mentioned this in my videos too, is like you buy all this stuff and then you don't play it, which bugs me sometimes. And I can't stand doing that. Like where I buy something and I don't play it. And so what I'll do is like when I'm done with like a segment of my projects, I'll just get a random bin and I'll pull it out. And whatever, if it's 1917 and 1986 of replay, like I'll just go through it, I'll organize it, I'll maybe play one or two one-off games with it just to say I'm getting it into I think something that's really depressing is like I just bought this on eBay, this 1976 like original set, like I was doing my collection. And I figure out where I'm going to put it. I have to like put things in really tight, for the storage, so I'm not taking up a lot of space. But like it feels bad, like putting it away. Like I just bought it, I'm putting it in a bin, and I'm putting it away. like what are you doing? So
How I justify that in my mind is the retirement bit.
yeah,
Say,
yeah,
hey,
yep, yep,
I'm gonna get to it when I retire, and yeah,
yeah,
there's probably some truth to that,
yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
but I
yeah.
find that I'm getting more selective now, because
Mm-hmm.
of space and time, and but yeah, that I feel the same way. So
Yeah,
I probably don't grab a set and play a game as much as I, think, well, I'm gonna when I get
right.
to retire, then I'll have a little more time, then I'll play these things. So
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. And I think I've noticed. I think all of us are kind of like this. So we kind of gravitate towards our wheelhouse seasons,
oh, yeah,
like for me, it's like maybe late 70s through by like 2004. And like something has to come up to really knock my socks off to want to buy it. Like Strat would have to do like a reprint of like a 90s season, and I'll like only want to get it. Or App as they do all the baseball seasons now, almost all the football, hockey seasons. But if they do a good football season, I want, like a 92 or something, I'll get that. So
yeah, I felt that way about Strat, but again, this year I've kind of
yeah,
backed off. I haven't got the 85 or the 52.
yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't pull the trigger on that stuff too this year. So
So talked about the chair. So yeah, I
yeah,
did.
I have a good chair.
I did. I worked from home 3 or 4 years ago
Hmm.
for about a year and a half, and I bought a
Hmm.
pretty good chair for that. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's a big difference. What about your desk? I mean,
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm lucky. I have this butcher's block table. It's not a desk. This is actually a really big part of my room setup. Is it's a big table. I'm gonna say it's like I'd say it's about 5 feet by like maybe 5.5, like 5 by 5 table. So it's really I have a lot of space to spread out everything. And I mean that's a big part of the gaming right there. Is you got to have a nice a lot of space to move stuff around, have things around. So it really adds to the whole experience, I think.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Obviously, you need to take the size of your room into consideration, but
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that it would, for me, it's okay to sacrifice some of the room to get a table big enough to
Yeah.
accommodate whatever it is you're
Yeah.
playing.
Oh yeah.
Because
You see some of
games
those
obviously
war
have
game
bigger
guys.
footprints.
Yeah. Yeah. Like those war game guys, they have their whole basements like a monster
Oh yeah,
table, you know.
yeah, like a pool table for some of those games. I mean, those things are, immense.
Yeah, or those train guys, they have the thing, the little tunnel they crawl in, they put their head up in the thing and it's like
Yeah,
they're the periscope.
right.
They're no
So
different. We're no different than those guys.
different hobby. So, and you alluded to this, as far as, neat and clean as opposed
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
chaotic organization. So
You
I
have
guess
to
with
be.
a smaller
Yeah.
space, obviously you would need to be a bit more than if you had the whole basement to yourself.
Yeah, you would have to. Like if you have a smaller space, like I was just talking to my wife today about like what do we downsize, like go to if we got like a smaller place, like I'd have to make some decisions, hard decisions. You have to be selling. I'd be like those guys selling stuff off, or finding some kind of crate or something where it get packed really packed in there. So
Now, do you
yeah,
just have the one table?
yeah, just the one table. I have some very. My wife is God bless her. She got this really nice shelf she set up. Yeah, I could show my videos. Maybe I'll do a follow up video tonight with everything so everyone wants to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. So,
But
you don't have an extra table. So let's say we play basketball, and
mhm,
a game that takes a little longer,
yeah.
or even half of basketball.
Mhm.
No, no
And then
moss.
no one's ever finished that, so no one knows how long it
No
takes.
matter know how long it takes.
No
Uh,
moss.
so what do you do? Do you just finish it, or do you like
Yeah.
put it up, play something else, bring it back out to finish it? I mean, how do you do that with
You
one
know what?
table?
It's funny you said that, Steve, because I usually finish everything before I get something else out. But like you guys are playing a fall classic and it's like driving me up a wall. Like I got to get my fall classic on, and it's right here. It's funny. Like I know where every season is. Like you ask me like what season, like where's that season? I'll know exactly which minute it's in. And I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably about 30, 35 bins, and there's probably about 4 or 5 seasons in each of them in there, so, like,
So you
I'll know
got the fall
exactly where it's
classic
at.
on deck then, right?
Fall Classic is right down here. That one that Demos is doing too, I've never touched it. It was an '89 Fall Classic, and I
Nice.
love that season,
Mhm.
and you're playing it too,
I have
and,
it.
it's right there. I'm thinking, "I'm gonna round my corners like Steve's doing. I'm gonna get that out and enjoy like I like to study that assist versus the run at risk too. I try to wrap my head around that.
It's a
So
lot of fun. It's
yeah.
a really cool addition to it.
Something else I want to say too. This is probably I noticed you had your records. You like have that was kind of like a passion of yours. You said like everything's kind of like I have a Dungeons and Dragons shelf over
Okay.
here, which I was a big D&D fan when I was a kid, and now I don't. There's no groups. You could go online and play groups and those types of things, but there's no one to play. So I just kind of collect the books when they come out or the old books from the 80s.
Okay.
It's kind of like collecting this APA stuff, like buying this like 76 like APA set.
Mhm.
Like I have like some 1980 like D&D stuff. So I have that organized. I have a golf shelf over there. So everything's kind of organized. And I have score sheets, pencils, pens on the one. So everything's really organized here. So
It's kind of what I was getting at about it
yeah.
being a gaming room, or is it a
Yeah.
TiVo room? Because I'm the same way. I've got my records, I got my
Yeah.
CDs, I got my
It,
books. You know, uh,
yeah.
things that are important to me. I want it in here,
Yep.
not just with
Yep.
gaming. So that's kind of.
It's our
I think
space.
you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's our space. I mean, it's a small part of the house, but it's just our space. That's I think it's something. It scratches some itch, and it's not just us. It's those guys that are going out of the shed and going to the garage.
Exactly.
They're looking to their way to escape because there's being a guy of head of a household, there's a lot of pressure. You know, you're dealing with, you always got to make sure there's enough money in the house. You got to make sure the bills are paid. You got to make sure you're being a good husband, a good parent. This is our place to unwind, you know, and be ourselves and just relax for a minute. So just to keep our sanity. So
you said earlier on about how that, you know, that it's just yours. There's nobody else
yeah,
in there,
right.
you know. Again, I love my wife. I love being with my wife.
Hmm.
You know, and I even made there's a chair for her to come in and, you know,
Yeah,
be with me times. But that's the only reason anybody's in here, you know. So it's,
yeah,
I know where everything's at, you know,
yep,
because I put it there. There's nobody going to be in here because there's just no reason, you know. And
yep.
so there's something reassuring about that, you know,
It
because
is. It is.
it's nice to be able to have your
Yep.
own space.
Yep. And no one's allowed to put anything in here. And if there's one thing out of space, or if someone has one like foreign object in here, it's odd. It's get that out of here.
Hey, I don't belong in here. So solitude,
Yeah.
door closed or open.
I like it closed. My wife likes it open. She likes
Mhm.
to be able to like if she has to tell me to do something or say something to me, she likes to make sure her voice is being heard. So plus she likes the cats don't like it closed. The cats don't
Okay.
they want to come in with me and hang out. So they'll be pawing. I'll see their paws under the door. When they start doing that, I gotta let them in. So but the one
Same way.
cat wrecks everything. The one cat will not let me play anything. The other
Okay.
cat's kind of cool. He'll go up on his perch and won't bug me. But the one other one, the girl, she wants attention. She won't let me play any games. So I gotta shut the door.
Yeah, I don't have any cats, but so
Yeah.
I closed again, and I've only been in here since Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, today's Wednesday or Tuesday, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome, that space.
And so I close it for videos when I'm doing
Yeah.
YouTube. Other than
Yeah.
that, I leave it open. Because again, right now it's just me and her, empty nesters now.
Oh wow, good for you.
So
We're
you
not
know,
there
it's
yet.
pretty quiet. Yeah. So so you talked about lighting, climate
Yeah.
control, and you also talked about rituals like your coffee.
Mhm.
You know, for
Yeah.
me, a big one is
Yes.
the fan in the window. Because when I was a kid, you know, my bedroom was upstairs,
Hmm.
and we didn't have air conditioning for a long time. And
Hmm.
so
Oh yeah.
my most favorite Strat memories are playing in the summer with the fan in the window.
Yeah.
And so there's something uh, cathartic to that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
a fan in the window.
Oh
So,
yeah.
you know, and then other than your coffee, I mean, do you have any other rituals, anything that kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Like
ties
well,
you to your past?
well, ties into the past. Yeah, it actually does. Like, I think a lot. I was in the same boat. We didn't have a lot of air conditioning when I was growing up either. And you know, the table too. The way I used to, I try to recall how like you said, cathartic. You're trying to recreate how you used to do, how you remember we loved APA. Like I remember one of my I wasn't that young when I was playing. I was actually in college when I was playing APA. Like I would get home from school like maybe about 1 or something. No one was home, and I would have it was like the 1990 season I was playing. It was like a draft league with that, and I would have a table, and I would just flip the cards and and then the leadoff card always got like worn out because you're always like flipping them over. And then you got the leadoff card. The leadoff card is like Ricky Henderson for the
Right.
A's. And another thing about the room too, my daughter, she's right here. Her bedroom's up in the attic now. Remember that attic I was talking about earlier?
Right. Where your son was.
She took over the attic now. So my son
Okay.
moved out to the other room. Now she's up in the attic. So
Okay.
she walks through every once in a while, her and her friend. But anyways, that's what I think of the cathartic, like with my youth, is like I kind of try to recreate that. Even like doing hand stats, but then you start realizing they make color TVs now. You start like doing stats by hand and like, well, you know what, that was nice back in 1991. But now they got something a lot easier than that. So
Yeah. And again, for me, that's part of keeping score. You know, to me,
yeah,
it's a give
yeah,
and take. You know, I would love to do stats by hand, but
yeah,
that's just too much.
yeah,
But
it is. Yeah.
I'm getting part of that. You know,
Hmm.
because again, that's
Hmm.
what I did when I played Strat when I was a kid. Just kept, you know,
Right.
I got my notebook pad and did my lines, and you know, that's how
Yep.
I did it. So for me, it's just that's one of the reasons why I keep score, not just because I
Yeah.
did it at the. That's what I did when I was a kid playing Strat. So.
Oh yeah, we sound like we were cut from the same mold, Steve, because
Oh
like
yeah,
I did that same thing when I was like
I
a
think a
10
lot
years
of us
old.
guys are.
Yeah, I would draw my lines on my paper, do my stats. That's just I don't know. It's ever born like that, Like it's like I don't remember when I started. I was just how I was when I came out.
Good, yeah, good times.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. So I always I think weird.
Mhm.
So I feel like my room needs a name.
Yeah.
So I
I
know
got the
you
whole.
said they call yours the hole. Is that
Yeah, the
what you
whole.
call your area?
Yeah, 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 it's my hole. Yeah. When she's mad at me, she'll call it my garbage hole because it's like all
Okay.
this junk everywhere. But
Okay.
it's actually very neat, very organized too. But to her, it's garbage. So you go back on your hole. But if she's mad at me, she'll say garbage hole, but it's the hole. So yeah, you can come up with a name. The cave, the baseballs, my baseball stadium or something.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings, so
Lord of the Ring. What is it?
something medieval,
Yeah, yeah.
would be a good name. I actually Googled it, and they was let's see if I can find it.
You should call it like the Fortress of Solitude or something, like Superman.
Yeah. So they had just a couple here that kind of get us in the mood of things. So the Victory Vault.
Victory Vault. Yeah.
Yeah. Champions Corner,
Champions Corner sounds good.
like a golf. The penalty box.
The penalty.
I had somebody comment about how that that's not your room, that's your doghouse. That's where your wife tells you to go. So that if that was the case, then the penalty box would be
Or the
really
dugout.
good.
You could say like the dugout.
The dugout den was one.
Yeah.
Uh, the trophy room,
Yeah.
uh, the courtside cave, the playoff palace.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so those are some. I haven't come up with anything that I like. The Blitz bunker,
Hmm.
the overtime office. That'd be a good one because every time you play, when you got a little bit of time, it always goes to overtime or extra inning.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Rookies retreat. So anyway, season
Yeah, that's
ticket
good.
suite.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a season ticket fan.
Oh
I like
yeah.
the
Yeah.
66 club if you're half a
Yeah.
guy.
Your luxury club, your luxury suite.
Hal's what was it? Uh, you're a strat guy. Hal's hangout.
House Hangout. Yeah, you call it House Hangout. Yeah, that
So
sounds good.
I've got to come up with a name for it. When you name it, it becomes real.
Yeah, I think you got to work on that, Steve, because it's in my house. It's proverbially he's up in his hole. That's what they say.
That's what works. So
Yeah,
you got to have a name. So that's all I got.
yeah.
Um, any other things that you thought about your room or how it applies to our
Well, I
gaming
mean,
and how important it is? I guess it just didn't really dawn on me till I was able to move to a new space how
yeah,
much difference it makes, what a big part of the hobby it is.
yeah,
Um, and so I thought it'd be fun to kind of dig in a
yeah,
little deeper.
yeah. I was glad you had me on here. I'm glad, thankful. It's because I enjoyed your video about that too. Because it's something that's really it does mean a lot to all of us. I think our little spaces we have and where we come to and enjoy the hobby. But not a whole lot more to say. I'd say one thing really everybody's different organization like desire. Some guys are really they don't really care to be out organized. That's okay. It's just I think that's important when you have a lot of seasons though. 'Cause you have a lot of stuff. Yeah, then you start like you hear these guys like they rebuy like a season they already had it. Like, hey, I didn't know I had
I've
it.
done that once.
Yeah, you
Which
gotta like I think keep a spreadsheet. Like it gets out of the collection gets out of control. Like we're at our level. Like you have to almost have that spreadsheet. I think I even emailed you my spreadsheet one time. You
you
actually
did,
have to.
and I use it.
Oh, good. You have to because you will buy stuff again. You don't know what you have. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I said, I don't remember what season it was, but I bought two of a Strat season
Yeah.
because I had forgotten that I had it. Matter of fact, I hadn't even taken it out of the shrink wrap yet.
Wow. You
So
know what actually always like bugs me in the back of my head is my Action PC stuff. Because like you know how like when you buy something from them, they give you a whole bunch of seasons, then they have those sales, and they give you a whole bunch of like I don't even know if I have that season. Like I might have it and I don't even know it. So,
but at least for the Action PC, you're probably paying what, $5 for it at the time when you go
yeah,
through the set. It's not like
yeah.
Strat when you're paying 60 or 70 or whatever it comes to.
Oh, I know. They had that Christmas bundle that was for Christmas time, and it was insane, like how much stuff you got, like of every
Action PC,
sport.
you mean?
Action PC.
Yeah, you picked that up, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It was a Christmas CD they called it, and it was
Right.
like 4 or 5 seasons of every sport they have. And it's like, wow, like I just bought the basketball. That is pretty nice. Like that.
Oh, I have been when it first came out. Again, I'm in kind of a fall classic mode now,
Yeah,
getting the baseball season. But I played a lot of hoops,
yeah.
PC basketball, or not PC, hoops basketball with the manual entry for the Action PC, and I loved it.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, because there's not enough baseball. You got some options, but
Right.
basketball, replay, you can enter in the stats afterward. You can't do it
Yeah.
as the game's playing.
Right.
And so to me, that's a game changer. I mean, it makes the basketball a lot more fun. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see how because the football is the only one they haven't done
Yeah.
yet, and it's coming out soon. And so that'll be really fun to see how that does because not a lot of options there either.
That's gonna be awesome. I can't wait till he does the football because I mean, Pro Football Helper's kind of nice, but the only
It's
thing
not
that's
bad.
that you have to set those seasons up. I know it's easy, and but it does kind of hold me back. It's like I want to. The other day I was messing around 1982 season, and I'm like I don't feel like putting all his helmets, all that stuff in there to doll it up. So
If he does as well as he did on I did just a little bit of hockey. I know Dave said he wasn't crazy about it yet.
yeah,
Again, I did just a little bit, so I can't speak to it much. I have it, but for
yeah,
me, the basketball and the baseball have just been great. So I'm
yeah.
excited about football too.
Your setup when you do your fall classic and your and Dave baseball demos setups. You guys have that near perfection with the dice and the multiple screens. You could see the
Oh,
images. I mean, that is you guys are nearly perfected online, like cards and dice.
yeah. I mean, but Dave actually helped me with baseball demos. Helped me with that last part because I
Mhm.
wanted to show the runners, and I
Yeah,
couldn't figure there really wasn't room for me to do it on my table because I was
right.
using the cards, and then he was the one that kind of cut out the infield on
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
Action PC, and I did my last game with that, and it worked out great, because it shows you where the runners are. And to me, that's always, I tried to do it in my commentary, but it was nice
Yeah,
to be able to see them, and it didn't. I don't feel like it hurt the presentation any.
yeah. It
I
looked good.
guess
It
you
looked
could
good.
argue that it's a little cluttered. I know some people. I know Dave was talking about how that when he started doing that with the Action PC, he got some complaints because
Hmm.
people like that what he did was just the scorecard
Right.
and the cards, the dice.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys do a good job with that recently with that Action PC because that looks so cool too. It has the stats right there and the
So do you feel like
picture.
is there anything that's missing? I mean, do you think it's too busy? Or do you feel? Again, I'm trying to give
Uh,
give the score, and the batter's averages,
yeah,
kind of give you some information to kind of help the game. And I haven't had any complaints, but
yeah. I think with that is like if you run into a situation like where it's a really weird play, like I'm not sure how it would handle entering that, like an insane, like a passing a runner on the bases or something, something
I've
crazy,
had some weird ones, and
Yeah.
I text them or email them when
Or
I
Dave
find
Coke,
something weird,
yeah.
and
Cook.
they email me back. So I've done it enough. They listen to what I'm saying, and so they
Yeah.
they fixed a couple of things. But
Oh,
I've
that's
had
good.
some weird ones, and it
Oh, really?
actually, of all the manual entry I have tried, it does as well. Think about it like replay baseball. It
Yeah.
only does rare plays that are in replay baseball.
Yeah,
So
right.
some there. But this was designed to do all rare plays. It's not just
Mhm.
game specific. And so so far, I haven't had, I've had very little trouble, with
Yeah.
it not being able to enter in even the weird stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to give it some more. I got in. I even did a YouTube short on it, but I haven't used it a whole lot at all because when I do my baseball, I use ball stat, and I'm gonna things with ball stat is it's very quick and it's very flexible, but there's no like bells and whistles. There's no pizzazz to it. It'll really get you boring. I mean, it's really dull like looking at it a lot because you don't have any of the bells and whistles at all on that. But it does. It's very flexible though. So,
Yeah, I mean, I've messed with it a little bit, and I kept having problems with it boogering up on me. I'm sure it was
mhm.
user error, but I would get 10 games into a replay, and then something would happen where it would mess up. And I don't know what I was
Yeah.
doing,
It's
And so for me,
particular. Yeah, it's
it,
definitely finicky. There's some things if you do one thing wrong, you can mess the whole thing up. Like, and that's kind of just scares some people away. But
it's disheartening.
that software's going away. Like, I think the guys that ran it took it down, or like the family. The guy passed away a few years ago, but I think they took it down the website. But I think you can still get back on the website through the Internet Archive and
Okay.
I don't know. I'm looking for my next project. I might go back to hand scoring because one thing I really like, Steve, is I like the hand scoring on my graph paper, then putting the stats in Excel after playing a whole month of games. So like you would actually roll probably what, like 150, 200 games, and then
You
take
picked
like 2 weeks
that up
off.
from an APA guy, didn't you? I remember
Yeah,
seeing the video that you were talking about how that you had picked that up from somebody who just played a miraculous amount of replays.
yeah. I mean, I always wanted to complete a replay, and that's how I patterned it off of him because he was doing it that way, and I kind of made up my own. He scored a little bit differently. He used to score like I've seen those guys. It says at bats, runs, hits, and they do like tick marks for the at bats and tick marks for runs. Some guys score like that. I couldn't do that because I would lose track of who's on the bases and stuff. And I still do my line, like my diamond, draw the like color in the diamond, for the runs. But I mean, what I did was I followed him and I finished the whole month of April. Like, wow, like that was quick. And I had to spend like a week or two to add stats up. But then, okay, let's do May. And you just roll, 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 roll. And you play you don't worry about adding up any stats at all. You just do the pitching lines. That's it. At the end of the game, go to the next game and put 3 games on a sheet of paper. And you do that. Okay, now you finished May. So you've got April and May, and it still takes you 2 weeks to add in stats. All right, now you do June. So it's like you kind of keep building on it, and you have so much momentum because you're not slowed down by putting stats in. That's how I've been able to complete a lot of my replays. But the thing is, you don't
Right.
savor a lot. It ends up being like roll fest at the end. So
I mean, if that's again, everybody has different. I'm for me, I'm okay. I want to get some done. I guess I'm
yeah,
still. It's been a while trying to figure out what I want. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
more like where I probably will keep like a full season replay in the background and play
Yeah.
it in between, and
Hmm.
then probably do just more team replays.
Right.
Like a
Right.
team through the season. Pitching replays. I'm doing that with Maddox, and that's really fun because you get 36 games or so.
Yeah.
You get the flavor of the season. You get to see the
Yeah.
players. You get to see most of the other teams in the league. And so that's kind of a fun way. And then if you autoplay the other games, you kind of get to see how the standings, so you kind of get the
Right.
benefit of doing the season, but it's much quicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but
That's a good
I
way of
want to
doing
get
it.
a full season done. So right now I'm working on, I think I've got quite a bit of 53 with Fall
Hmm.
Classic, and
Oh,
so
really?
I'll probably do that in the background.
Are you doing like all a 16 teams, or are you just doing a league, or on that
all
53?
all of them.
All of them. Okay.
And I know that you had said in your video that it's good to you do leads,
Yeah.
which
One
obviously
at a
didn't.
time at least. Yeah.
But for me, again, it's not something I'm going to do a lot, and so I would kind of want this. I want to feel like it's 1953,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so for
Right. Right.
me, if I was trying to do more, I would
Right.
do what you said, but for me, just doing it as a
Yeah.
background project, do a game here and there when I got the time.
Yeah.
I want to see, the baseball as a whole. So
Right. Right. That's I think too. I think at all time too. Like, how much time do we have left on the planet to do these things? Like, who knows? It's kind of morbid to think about it, but yeah, I'm 55, and you hit 55, you start thinking like, realistically, might be able to finish 30 replays in my lifetime. No, like I have to figure out like a way to enjoy the hobby. And I think a lot of it is prioritizing our time we do have. Like you mentioned, you work, I work. A lot of us work probably even part-time jobs if they're retired. So, and you have family, you have other things going on, and
yeah, I know me and you did a video. I know we're off topic now, just chatting,
yeah,
which is kind of
yeah,
fun. Me and you did a video about, I think it was called "Are You Going to Finish That?"
yeah,
And we were talking about finishing things,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so that's for me. It's I'm just getting realistic about things like, okay, so now I'm going to
right,
do this medic play. So
right,
I think I'm going to get it done. 24 or 5 games into it. He gets 36
yeah.
that year. And then
You'll finish that. Yeah.
then I've got my next one lined up, which is a little bit bigger, that I'm
Uh-huh.
excited to share. Uh, and so, but again, just being realistic goals about what I'm
Right.
going to do, and then and the important thing for me is to enjoy. And this is the way it is in life. Is that quite often we're so worried about the end game that we don't enjoy
Right.
the journey.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So enjoy the games. Just have fun. Don't. But one thing I got from your video that we talked about is to be a little bit more intentional.
Yeah.
I always felt like if I didn't feel like doing it, it would become more like work, and then it
Right.
would be fun. I found that, there's a balance there. If I did that
Yeah.
too much, maybe, but being intentional and making myself play to accomplish a
Yeah.
goal,
Right.
it's worth it once I get over that hump. You know,
Yes.
and so that's one thing I got from our talk that helped
Yeah.
me in my gaming is just be more intentional and make
Hmm.
myself do some things and schedule. Like you said,
Right.
kind of look at my schedule, what I can do, and be a little bit more intentional about it. And I'm finding
Yeah.
that's very helpful.
Yeah. And you could always hang your hat on that. Like when you finish Greg Maddox, like you'll always remember that. You always remember playing that in that card set, and it'll almost be like part of like real baseball history for you. Like, hey, Maddox did this and did this. And
1993 and 2026, 1993 Maddox. So
yeah.
yeah. So again, that's why I had that chat with you, because it's always
Yeah.
bothered me that that I didn't finish. So now that I've
Yeah.
kind of settled and my experimenting time's over, now I want to finish some
Mhm.
stuff. And so
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do once I get through the baseball season, I'm going to try to do a ASG basketball project.
Oh, okay.
Probably like do the playoffs. Maybe if the
Yeah.
Nuggets, I like the Nuggets pretty good. Because
Yeah.
I follow that a little bit. So something like that. Instead of trying to say, well, I'm going to do the whole season. It's just like, okay, let's do this, or maybe just do the whatever round they get knocked out in,
Right.
or if they make it to the finals, do that one. It's just 7
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. There's all kinds of ways to enjoy it. Like I was getting cues off of like Tony Porter. He does that 74 with those 4 teams or
Right.
something, 5 teams. And I think that's cool. Like I mean, not that he's old, I mean, we're all kind of up there, but like if I'm thinking, all right, I want to play this season and I want to use this engine, and I can't spend 3 years on this. I want to like maybe realistically be able to finish it and would say within a year, like within 6 months to a year. That's a great way to do it because he probably has so much flavor of that whole season, but only playing those teams, you know. So a lot of different ways you could do it. Like you're doing the pitcher replay, and I'm doing 88 nationally. That's like my biggest project going on right now. I'm at the All-Star break, which is July 10th, or in the real world. And that 88 season can drag. I mean, it's very like dead ballish. Like there's like so many shutouts constantly. Everything games like 2-1, 3-1.
At least the games go quicker.
The games go quick. That's one thing. And I was just, I mean, it's like a real lack of offense. And so what I did was just to like, I'm playing the whole steroid era, trying to play every game of the steroid era. As this Jim Deshaies, I was looking at him like he led, like 1994 was serious offense in the American League. And he gave up the most earned runs of any pitcher in the worst offensive year. So I'm like, I got to play this guy. So I'm playing Jim Deshaies replay mixed in when I get tired of the boring 88 like games. I'm like, I got to play some high offense games. And Jim Deshaies, he's like 2-7 with like 10 ERA or something like that. I'm in like May. So
I think I was doing 72 Nolan Ryan with that, but
yeah.
Man, the Angels were just horrible. I mean,
the offense is the bad offense.
DH. Again, I'm not a fan of the DH, but
yeah,
I can see why they would be tempted to do it because I mean the Angels, they were just bad. I mean, if they score 2 runs, they're having a big offensive night. They were just bad.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all fun.
It is. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate it very much, and enjoy your hole there.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go work on some replay basketball stats right now. So
awesome.
All right, I'll catch.
I posted your video. I'm gonna catch that later. So
yeah, it's up there right now. So hopefully everybody enjoys. So
yeah. All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
All right, catch you later. See you, Steve. Catch you later. Bye.